have to work on, which probably means I should go on a hike, but that's not happening anytime soon.
That's hilarious. I know. Do you guys live near a park other than Central Park?
Oh gosh, we do, but like it's not like a hiking type of park. It's just kind of like flatland, dog park, you know, playgrounds, grass. But yeah, like if I were to go like hiking elsewhere, which it's like not super far, I guess I could do that. But obviously, not excited about it.
Yeah, that's so funny. And what I think is so funny too is that like when I think of you, I think you're one of the most intentional people that I've met. But throughout all of this, like I feel like not everything, but a lot of kind of what we were just talking about just sort of happened, which I think is hilarious because I think sometimes like people get caught up in like the energy they think it's going to take to be intentional, but my life is very similar in that like I try and be intentional, but for the most part things just kind of unfold in a certain way, and I think for both of us it's just like we get curious, like it starts with a question usually for us. So I think what's funny and what I'm hearing in your story and what I know, you know, just from my own experiences is like I think living with intention almost just comes down to like the framework that you have at the bottom. Like it's not always the intention to be intentional. It's just like you are just kind of intentional in the way that you sort of operate almost, and that it's, you know, you stay curious and you're always kind of growing and evolving as a person and wanting to, you know, get the most out of just the day that you have. And I think that that's really attainable, which is nice because I think one of, you know, my things is always like 10 years from now, I don't want to just wake up and be like, well, my life happened to me. Like I want to look back and be like, no, I made choices on purpose that got me somewhere. I'm probably not where I thought I was going to be, but I'm somewhere. And along the way, you know, I made choices on purpose that got me there, but it doesn't have to be this like grand master plan of like, you know, all of this energy and all of, you know, like it can be a fluid and a moving thing.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's kind of like, what do you want to manifest and how are you going to manifest it? Which is like kind of easier said than done. I feel like a lot of people have trouble like figuring out what their intentions are and what their manifestations are when it's just like, it could be anything. What are your manifestations? They're like, I don't know. But it's just like, you know, what are your goals? What are your dreams? Like, can you get to them? Do you think you can? Why do you think you can? And it's kind of, what do you want right now? You know, what do you want? Like, is it a bowl of ice cream or do you want to, you know, like, what do you want? It could be so many things, right? It's so open-ended. So yeah, I think it is really kind of like difficult to talk about sometimes. And it just does kind of like, not that like intentions just happen to you or intentionality just happens to you, but it's like the things that do happen to you or that you know, maybe you want to like put forth or go towards. It's just like, what are you going to do to get there? Maybe like, how are you going to like start the journey?
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever had anyone ask you or like have this type of conversation and say on their end, but I just don't know what I want?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, that's kind of a difficult question to answer. I feel like as humans, we want like basic things, you know, like things to like that we could live off of, like food, water, shelter, money, love, companionship, a job, you know, just like basic things, like basic needs. But besides that, like you as a person, your personality, your interests, like what do you want? That's hard, but I feel like we all have different types of interests and it can kind of go from there. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, if you were to try and give an example of like a starting place in a season of your life where maybe you weren't quite sure what you wanted and how you figured out, you know, where you wanted to go and what you, even if it was just that day or even if it was just a bowl of ice cream, but like where you started and like how you thought about it.
Yeah. I'm thinking of like two examples. So the first one I'll start with is like a fun one with a bowl of ice cream. Like, I feel like when I was like in high school, I was always just kind of like, all right, doing whatever I want. And then one summer I was like, okay, I'm going to lose 5 pounds. And I was like, this is like my whole goal, the whole summer, like when I was 16, probably. God, this summer, like 16. And I was like, I'm going to lose 5 pounds by the end of this summer. And I don't know if I ever did. I can't even remember. But like, it was like the summer where basically that was my whole goal. And whether it was for vanity or purpose or like health purposes, who knows, or both. It was just kind of like, this is what I'm going to do. This is my intention. This, you know, but like, throughout the whole journey of it all, like, what did I actually learn? I learned how to like eat healthier or like smaller portions, not late at night, you know, like the things that you do learn when you embark on a diet, which isn't really like a diet. It just should be like a lifestyle. I'm like not a big fan of that word because I feel like everyone's like, oh, I'm on a diet. And it's like, you're just, you know, eating more nutritious food. You know, it's like, oh, you're going to the health food store. You're just trying to look for more nutritious items. So it's like the way that you're really thinking about it, which when you change your mindset, you kind of change the actions that you take. And it's like, am I going to avoid ice cream? No. But like, am I still going to lose 5 pounds if I eat ice cream? Yeah, there's possibilities. It's just like how you go about it, I guess. And the second example I was thinking of was, I guess like 2 things. One, like when I was deciding if I wanted to go to grad school or not, and then afterwards, what I was going to do after it was over. So when I was deciding, I was like, am I gonna, like, do I need a second degree after a bachelor's? Like, is this really worth it? You know, just weighing everything. And like, you know, where am I even going to go? How am I going to put money for this? And it was really just trying to figure out, what do I want? What is the end goal for this? And then after it was over, it was, for me, it was, do I move back home or do I stay in a state that's, you know, completely the opposite end of the country from like the rest of my family and friends? So it was that, I think that was the harder decision. Not deciding like if you're going to apply or if you're going to go. It's like, do I stay in a new state or do I go back? So obviously I decided to stay here. But yeah, it was one of those things where you're kind of thinking about, what do you want and why are you here in the first place? What got you here? And like, where do you want to go? So it was just, I guess maybe it like changes as you get older, how you think about things and how you perceive the world. And perhaps I think obviously all our wants and desires change. I love how, so in, did you ever watch Tangled? It's like my favorite Disney movie.
Yes.
Okay, because I don't know the exact quote, but she says like her dream is obviously to see the glowing lanterns, and then like after she finally saw them, her new dream was Eugene, and so it's so cute. But I feel like that's such like a true thing. Like whether your dream seems so unattainable as like seeing these glowing lanterns that you don't even know where they come from or, you know, how you're going to get there. That's very unattainable to me. If I saw some glowing lanterns, am I just going to drive around until I find it? What if I never find it, right? But it could be something as unattainable as that, or something as attainable as I want this item that I can go purchase tomorrow morning when the store reopens. You know, it's just trying to figure out like how you're going to get there, if you can get there, and just, you know, like if you're going to take that journey or not.
Yeah, I love that. And I love what you said about it being a mindset, because I think that really is what most of life comes down to. It's like the grid that you use to like evaluate stuff and you know, that foundation, whatever it may be. That it's not always about your circumstances. It's how you respond to them, and sometimes your response is guttural, and sometimes it's, you know, a little bit more processed and thought out, but either way it comes from whatever mindset you're carrying. And so for me, I think it's a good reminder to reevaluate the mindset that I'm carrying every now and then, because I don't know that I ever like sit down and I'm like thinking about the way that I view myself, the way that I view others. Like, am I really valuing myself based on my actions? Am I betraying myself by making myself promises that I never keep, but I always keep my promises to my friends? And the way that can trickle into the little things, but then the little things become the big things. So I think that's a really good reminder to like do that work in yourself at least every now and then, and check in and really get a sense of, you know, where am I staring? Because wherever I'm staring is going to end up, you know, where I steer my life, whether it's on purpose or not.
Definitely. I love thinking about mindfulness in that way, of like getting really intentional of what you're feeling, what's happening. And there's a lot of like mindfulness meditations or guided meditations that just kind of, they'll ask you questions or ask you to think about things. That's something that you probably wouldn't think about on a daily basis. And you're just, you know, closing your eyes, you're sitting down, you're doing this meditation, and you're just like, oh, and you just figure out like so much about yourself, which is what I love. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we're already a little bit past 6, but thank you so much just for like who you are as a person and just like the light that you bring to the world and the way that you are so just a ray of sunshine in everything that you do, whether it's beauty or skincare or, you know, your ballet classes, like just, I love watching you shine, and just the way that you illuminate your corner of the world is so beautiful. So I know this week was like really intense, crazy for me for some reason, and a lot of people. I don't know if there was like something in the air this week. So I know
murder hornets apparently are in there. Have you heard about
that?
Oh
my God. I know. Don't even get me started. But yeah, so I'm just grateful for your time and for the people who joined us. I know 5:15 can be hard, at least on my side, and it was later for you on a Friday if you're like running around and doing stuff. So thank you guys who stuck around with us. It was so great to see everyone. And again, I just love this because it's like it's just having a small friend party every Friday.
I agree. Thank you so much for like doing these. When I saw that you were doing these, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be so great. You're such like a bright light, a ray of sunshine, and like all your positivity. I love it. Can't get enough.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and honestly, I'm noticing it's helping me start out my weekends differently. So even though so speaking of intention, this was not intentional, but, you know, being at home, it's been hard logging off of work and then, like, well, I'm still at my desk, which is my couch, with the same place I've been here for, like, 50 hours this week, and you're just like, okay, I need mental separation from everything, and at least for me, I live alone. I'm like not in a relationship with anyone. Like I don't necessarily have someone to like process the day with on a continual basis. So I'm just having a ball, just disconnecting and kind of like putting everything down for a second. Because I mean, what's 45 minutes to an hour? Like that's an episode of something on Netflix. I could spare that.
That's so true. I love the way that you're thinking of it that way. That's really great.
Aw. Well, it was so good seeing you, and I can't wait to just continue to watch you do your thing, and I love you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it, and I love you so much, too. And I hope you take care, and don't go crazy by yourself.
Tell me about it. Yeah, no, I love it. And also, it was not intentional to have 2 Stephanies on back-to-back. That was a hilarious accident.
Happy coincidence.
Yes, absolutely. All right, well, have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.